Well, SK Gaming, they did manage to pick up a win with that whole combo system they had there with the Shen, Rengar, Orianna. Worked very well for them. Lissandra being taken away. They don't want to see Zoro 0 on that one. There is the Shen Ben. So Kevin, not today, thanks.
Where's the Elise ban, though? That's what I'm waiting for. They don't want to let Dexter on Elise again because he played so well against Gambit, but it looks like they might potentially let that through. And LemonDogs, they're taking away... I don't know, because obviously you can jungle Shen. Hercubot doesn't do it too much, but they took away 2 junglers from him and took away a champion away from Kevin. So it looks like they're not too worried about the AD carry and support lanes of SK, and they just want to try to single out Kevin and Hercubot.
So they go Fiddlesticks, which leaves a number of champions available, Twisted Fate being one of them. Of course, Elise being another ban in there. So this is interesting. What are they going to go with here?
I mean, obviously... Mithy did play Fiddlesticks in the first week he was with the team, but he went 1-2. Like, he didn't do amazing on it. He got caught quite a bit. But
now, if my memory works, Fiddlesticks is a great counter to a champion, and I can't remember what Freak was talking about in the week, but he was saying it was a fantastic pick. They have let Twisted Fate through, which means Thresh and Elise do get locked up by SK Gaming.
Okay, so we talked about earlier how teams let Twisted Fate go through as they're still trying to figure out what champion that is.
I can't remember who it was. No.
What role was it?
I can't remember.
Okay, well, I mean, so we talked earlier about Twisted Fate and how team...
Zed. But they've already banned it, so why would they... I don't know.
Okay, so the Twisted Fate, let's go back to that real quick before we get to the other picks, is that teams let that go through now because they don't know how to play with it anymore. It's been a while since it's actually been let through, but we're going to see how well Nukeduck will perform in that, but the Lee Sin and the Ryze coming right behind that. So Dexter, he's really been stepping up in the jungle, I have to say. He's not playing a lot of, like, you know, synergetic compositions with his team. He's playing a lot of early game junglers where he wants to make plays happen.
Interesting. If they lock in Vayne here, we did see something in the OGN that it was Madlife highlighted effectively alongside Space. As if that Thresh hook lands and he condemns, the hook actually clashes as a wall and he gets stunned. That's what we saw in the OGN, and I don't know whether that's a bug. There was Riot, please, but I may be getting in trouble for this one. But I remember seeing that, and I remember Monte Cristo talking about it at the same time.
I remember there's a couple of issues with that, like Gragas. If you're Poppy and you charge him, and there's no wall there, you can actually stun him on himself.
Yeah.
But Gragas is a very big man, so you can kind of understand that. But there's a couple of champions that works like that. So yeah.
Trips over his own flubber.
So I'm not sure if it's actually a bug or anything like that, but if it does work out, I want to see if it's going to happen.
We're going to see if that works out. We do see Orianna also, Ari also being locked in now. God, my tongue is just too big today.
Anyways, the Ocelot pick on Ari. He never actually he never typically will get his champion picked for him this early on. Usually he's the last pick, but it looks like this time they're saving it for Kevin or for Nif. So like we're saying, or not Nif, Kevin or Hercubot. So like we were saying before, it's kind of like the rest of the members of the team have stepped up and he's kind of stepped down a little bit. But the Ari, we saw, I believe that was Xpeke using it earlier against Alternate, and that worked out swimmingly for him. So
final pick, will it be a jungler? Or is Elise in the jungle? Of course, it could be Kevin in the top lane. I'd be actually surprised if it is Kevin on Elise. I'm trying to think whether I've actually seen him playing it too much, but it looks like Tabs on Caitlyn, kind of a standard pick for him. It's one of the champions that he always goes with. Mithy will be on Lulu, so standard support lane to go with him. So final choice, what do we think?
Shen is taking it from Kevin. He plays a lot of different champions, but they have so much damage, so I would think they'd want to go for a tank jungler or a tank top lane, because they need, you know, the extra, like, soaking of damage here. But I don't know. I mean, I would say that would be Kevin on Elise, but as we're going to see the pick come up in a few seconds, I guarantee I'm probably wrong here, so don't listen to me. But they need something. You know, where's the Jarvan been lately? I mean, Hercubot, he's played a lot of Jarvan, and he's kind of just disappeared from the whole scene right now. But the Lee Sin against Jarvan, it's going to be really hard for Jarvan to really duel him.
Well, he's run Nasus before. The fact that Udyr and Nunu and Shen were kind of all banned, so they've targeted Hercubot effectively in that jungle, so he's got a bit of a choice to make here. Will it be that Elise, or will they pull something else in the top? There's a lot of discussions going on between SK right now. Here. It is going to be the Jarvan, so as you called it, it looks like it will be the final choice, and it will be Hercubot once again.
Okay, so it's going to be hard for Jarvan to really duel Lee Sin in the jungle, but obviously he can escape from him relatively well if he doesn't obviously let the Q land and then get over a wall. But so SK, I mean, just looking at the compositions, LemonDogs, they want to make something happen kind of early on with the whole Lee Sin Twisted Fate thing, where they really want to punish some lanes when you have a Vayne who has invisibility, which you really kind of underestimate sometimes. It can really catch you off guard when trying to duel a Vayne. So with the Lee Sin, it's going to be able to counter that, not to mention the Twisted Fate. But SK, they have a strong team fight team.
And what do we think of the top lane? The fact it's going to be Elise versus Arise. I mean, this is a top lane. I'm trying to think when we've seen Kevin running in Elise. But he's up against Zorazir on Rise, and Rise has always been a strong top laner. How do we compare this one?
Well, I don't think it comes down to the lanes. I think it comes down to the junglers in particular. Because Rise, if you gank him early on, you can set him really far behind. So I would have to say that would go over to Kevin, because he can dodge, obviously, a lot of damage. He can cover a lot more ground than Rise can with his repel, obviously, to get away. So having a mid-range caster versus another mid-range / heavier burst damage kind of champion, I think Kevin would win that one out.
You do see LemonDogs on your screen there, and there is SK getting ready to go. Nif and Candy Panda. Looks like it's going to be a sneeze. Oh, nearly. Because I'm tight.
I feel like we're doing like Space Theory 3000 right here, trying to commentate on a movie or something right now. But
it's like cricket commentating. You just got to build things up when there's not really a lot happening there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go, and you do see the gamers in there naturally, in fact.
And Nif, it looks like, not Nif, Tabs, it looks like he might actually take a breath of air. He just did. So there's that breath of air we're waiting for to come out of him.
It's kind of a necessity for the standard human being. I'm not too sure with Ocelot.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
He's just focused.
I know.
That is a focus face right there.
I want to ask him after this game does he have certain scarves where if he wears it over a weekend and they lose every game, does he just burn it? He's like, you know what? Screw this scarf. It's like flipping a table.
This scarf is desecrated from now on. He just gets rid. So nevertheless, we are about to get underway, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for the distractions, but you do see the game is loaded, and LemonDogs are starting off as the blue team, and SK Gaming, of course, as the red team. We'll see how it works out. Have SK Gaming managed to pull a rabbit out of the hat, or have they let that gambit through once again with Twisted Fate? The first pick, once again, this time for LemonDogs. It's lost twice today already. This is the third game of the day. It snuck through. Will it be successful? We are going to see Hercubot going straight in. Does find that Demacia standard. Spots out a jungler in the form of Lee Sin and Twisted Fate.
Okay, so looks like they're going to continue to invade, though. There's no wards currently down right now for LemonDogs, so they won't actually see them coming in, which might give SK just a free blue buff here. And how are LemonDogs going to react to this? Are they going to go for the blue as well on the other side? But right now, they're poisoned for it.
Poisoned?
Poisoned for
it. They're poisoned. They have got at least.
There is a spider.
There's a spider.
Isn't she like a Black Widow?
But is their senses tingling? That is the question. I don't know. We are seeing Kevin. Looks like he's going to back off, so maybe the spider senses are not showing themselves. Too many good signs. It does look like LemonDogs are going to go for a blue invade. They have managed to put the ward down, so they're going to keep their eyes on towards that blue. They're going in towards it.
That is a weird ward.
Tabs and Mithy.
That is a really weird ward, I have to say. Not the one at blue buff, but the one next to it. Because, I mean, yeah, I guess if you want to see Hercubot coming in.
I think it was the Explorer.
It was.
Yeah.
So you can see Kevin coming in, obviously, but the thing is, he's not going to be able to smite it with you. So I think they're assuming that SK does have a ward on their own blue buff just to kind of spot it away. But anyways, LemonDogs are going to start at their own red here. So they're actually going to know the Hercubot is starting at their own blue. I mean, obviously from the invade, they would kind of expect that, but they're going to have the guarantee that the factor of knowing that with that ward. But the thing is, Kevin put a ward down on the minimap as well to spot them going in for the invade. And it looks like Zorazir might get caught here.
Oh, he does manage to get hooked in. Beautiful start from Nif there. Gets on towards him. The Ignite was used, but he's managed to get back. They've flashed for it. It's going to be first blood. It's Candy Panda that picks it up quickly with a bolt there. And now they're going in for the blue buff.
Go for the dragon.
Yeah, they go for dragon. 2 minutes in, go for it. Wait a minute, doesn't spawn.
The thing is, you don't want to give first kill over to a Vayne, ever. You don't want to let her get ahead of you. And that was a great play of them. A great job by SK to use that ward to their advantage, to know where he was and just take it away. But LemonDogs are going to be spotted going in here, and is Kevin going to say anything about this?
Well, he's going to come around. What's he taken to start with? He could take Dexter very low, throws out this little spider to give themselves vision. It will be Dexter with the smite. Now he's got himself the double buff and level 3. He's going to be looking for those kills.
He's already actually swinging around bottom lane, but he is spotted by that ward. You think you would assume there would be something there since Kevin did come around to check it, but looks like he's just going to back away either way, and LemonDogs doing some good harass on Ocelot here. You have to keep in mind, Ocelot does have teleport, and it seems like a lot of mid laners are starting to really go for that, but he's going to be able to follow Duke around.
Well, they're all following the Charu charming factor and going through with those teleports. Of course, Ocelot playing Aru. We saw Aru played to great success earlier on today by Peke. Will it work out for this next Spaniard in the line of great mid laners, frankly? Candy Panda, though, in this top lane, he's got his work cut out. And this actually does work in their favor. The fact that they're up against Rise, he's going to get himself some free farm for a while. I would suspect SK actually want to keep the lanes alive a little bit longer so Vayne can get that free farm.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, when you have a Vayne, you want to give her a very easy lane, and going against Zora when you already killed him and got first whatever Candy Panda is going to give him the option to do that. Right now, though, Hercules coming towards the top side. He is not spotted by a ward here, but I think he's just going to help him push. There's no way they're going to pick up a kill off this.
Well, we'll see where the Nif lands that Thresh hook. He does show himself. It's like, whoops, accidentally walked out. Looks like they're actually going to put pressure on towards the turret. Demacia standard hasn't gone down just yet, though. Could try and slide in on towards Zora Zero or Dexter. Dexter would be very maneuverable. They are keeping the pressure on towards that turret. Does surprise me that they're keeping this pressure up. They do catch on towards Zora Zero, put some damage down on towards him. But Candy Panda doing a lot of work on that turret and taking it almost down to half health. A flay and a hook on Dexter. They try and condemn him. There is the stun. He caught him on the wall. One more shot should do it. It's Nif, though, that picks up the kill.
And they got the double buffs away from Dexter. Candy Panda's got to be a little sad by that, but in the end, getting the kill, getting a turret, it's working out all in their favor. They have a nice early 2-0 lead, and they might be able to get the first turret as well.
While this is happening, the pressure on the bottom lane from Kevin manages to land that cocoon just outside of tower range, though. He's holding onto that tower, but not for much longer, it seems.
Also, actually getting carded right here middle. And it's actually been very aggressive from both mid laners. As you can see, the CS pretty even at this point, but turrets are going to go down here very shortly. Looks like SK will be able to lock down the first one of the game. And how is he going to go off this right now? Because you have Candy Panda with 1 kill, 1 assist, sitting on 1,300 gold to back with. He's going to be able to get that Bilgewater Cutlass relatively soon.
So, quick action. 5 minutes in, 2 kills and 2 turrets already down. 1,000 gold for SK Gaming, and the Wolves actually being stolen away by Hercubot as well. They're looking towards coming in the mid lane, on towards Nuke Duck. Will Ocelot land that charm? If he does, Nuke Duck will be dead.
I was just waiting for some action to happen right there, but I really love how SK went about that, and it looks like he will go in here. Will land the knockup. Will the charm follow?
The charm does follow. There's going to be the damage. Is it enough? One more shot should do it. There it is. Ocelot picks up the kill. Dexter comes in, tries to turn it around. The Ignite's going to be enough. Hercubot does go down. Can he get on towards Ocelot? He's got no mana, so he's got nothing really he can do in response to that one, and great reactions from Dexter.
Oh, and Hercubot is so lucky because he died right after his red buff faded away, so Dexter wasn't able to take that back away from him. So in the end, good job. They do get the kill on a Twist of Fate, so they do hold him back right now as Kevin, he's heading up towards middle. They want to go for a kill on a Dexter here, and it looks like Kevin might be spotted.
Does throw out the Spider. He's got the cocoon available. Does manage to land it. Perfect timing. Charm comes out, but it wasn't timed right. And the Ignite already used. Ocelot had no more mana to follow it up on.
Oh, that is so unfortunate. That would have been another kill, and that would have given him such a huge lead. Just starting in this game, already 6 minutes in. Dragon's actually being pinged right now, as it looks like the bottom lane is heading middle of LemonDogs. And keep in mind, Zora Zero, he's being left alone. He's farmed up quite well. He's actually getting very close to catching up to Candy Panda, who was in his lane, obviously.
Well, pressure on the mid lane now. Tams and Mithy in there with Nuke Duck. Going to keep putting some damage down on towards that turret, but Nif coming around the side. Could throw out the hook. He's got an open line. Doesn't go for it, though. Well, really a great deal of damage to follow it through. But this is all giving the time for Zora Zero in that top lane just to have free farm.
He's trying to catch up. I mean, he's going to have his tier when he does back away, but in the same respect to that, Candy Panda's farming bottom. So in the end, you have to look at what's going to be better for the team. Candy Panda getting farmed or Zora Zero getting the farm? And honestly, with a Rise against a Vayne and you don't have Cleanse, Rise is a very good counter to Vayne because you can just lock her down.
Well, Nif starts off on the Dragon. Hercubot and Ocelot coming in to join in, as is Kevin. So it will be the first Dragon of the game, looking like it's going to go across to SK Gaming, and there's not a great deal of response from LemonDogs here. They haven't got the pressure on the mid turret. They haven't got the pressure on the Dragon. They're just completely caught out in the lanes, honestly.
And this actually gives me a little bit of worry about LemonDogs. How we talked about in the pregame that they kind of change up their entire strategy of how they work. They're a lot more aggressive, but one little wrench thrown into that machine of LemonDogs, and they kind of go haywire right now because it's currently a huge lead for SK.
It is a big difference. LemonDogs picking up the blue buff for Dexter. Where is he going to go with Lee Sin? Lee Sin's always one of those tricky champions. You have to get him going early on, or he will just fade away. And Candy Panda, the fact that he's on Vayne, he's going to become a monster late game. And Caitlyn, on in terms of tabs, has to get going on there. That's going to be the catch. Do they get on towards Ocelot? Turns around, throws out the charm, and knocks land.
And one thing we haven't touched on just yet, as we do see the hook of fortune miss for Nif, is that Dexter went double Doran's Blade. He didn't actually go for the machete right off the bat, so he's actually going for a lot of damage. He's expecting to make a lot of big plays, but the thing is, if you build 2 Doran's Blades, you're not building towards anything else. So if you don't make any plays happen within the next couple of minutes, you're just going to fall behind.
Well, speaking of plays, it looks like the blue buff is going to get contested. LemonDogs did take it to start with, remember, because it was a simple trade between them, and immediately we're seeing Kevin actually responded to this one. That's going to be the blue buff. It went to Zoro 0, and we are seeing Kevin, though, he's going to take away that blue buff to make sure they can't counter. We do see already Twisted Fate was heading that direction. Nuke wants it. He's going to use the ultimate. He's coming in. Destiny was used. Is it going to be enough? Throws out the wild card. No, Kevin gets it.
Great job by him right there, just to sit back, just to wait and make sure to pick up the blue away from NukeDog. So now both mid laners won't have this blue available anymore, and this is really going to hurt, to be honest, both teams. However, Ocelot, with that 1 kill advantage over NukeDog, he's going to be a lot stronger.
Well, we are seeing just a single Doran's and a pickaxe was used by Tabs. He wants to try and close that gap in terms of damage in the middle levels. Meanwhile, we are seeing Candy Panna off the side. Dexter and Hercubot both standing by here. Both going to go aggressive, and they're both going to come through at the same time. The stun card on Ocelot is going to be the start, though. They're going to go in. They're going to get the kill. And now Hercubot's in trouble. Can Dexter get on towards him? No, he's just going to happily let him walk away. Ocelot just massacred in the middle.
And I'm not sure if that was Dexter prepared to counter gank onto Hercubot, but in the end, obviously, LemonDogs do win out on that one, and Candy Panna very low on health, and considering the lead he got in that lane, he's having a kind of a tough time, but now LemonDogs are push middle down, and wow, they actually take the turret lead 2-1, and getting that middle turret is always a big deal.
And keeping pressure on as well. They're going to look towards taking out this bottom turret, and if I don't think he's going to be able to defend this.
No, definitely not with Dexter coming around from the side. And the thing is, someone on SK has to help out. Looks like Ocelot and Candy Panna will be heading down here to defend against it. But yeah, you're definitely right. If they lose this turret as well, then LemonDogs, the whole wrench, in the machine of the LemonDogs I was saying before, just got proved wrong.
Is it a monkey wrench?
It's an Allen wrench.
Allen wrench? Is that a thing?
Yeah. You never heard of that?
No. Monkey wrench I definitely have. I'm not sure about Allen wrench. I'll take your word for it. It may be an American thing. Who knows? America. Well, it is Ocelot, though, right now in this mid lane. And he's actually having a few problems, more to the fact that Dexter's been paying him a visit. Kevin just going to come around the side. Can he land one of those cocoons off through the wall? That's what he's going to be aiming towards. Not going to happen, though. Ocelot forces him back. He's still lingering. No wards. NukeDog's about to put a ward on top of his head. Throw the cocoon straight away in reaction. Doesn't land it and has to back to the top.
This is actually very dangerous for SK. If you look what Kevin's doing, he's been roaming around quite a bit and just trying to make some plays happen, trying to like cocoon, trying to go for some kills. But because of that, look at Zorozu. Just chilling the top lane, 67 CS. I mean, he has higher CS than every member except Candy Panna right now on SK. And if they keep letting this happen, LemonDogs are just going to completely out-damage them.
And he's the one champion that he just needs to do that on. Oh, Hercubot going in, maybe throwing out the Demacia standard. Dexter does land. Doesn't get Lee Syndrome, though, and dives in on towards him. Instead, it's going to be the bottom lane they're going to push towards. SK have a stack of minions here. They do see Tabs coming around. This is perfect timing for... Oh, Hercubot doesn't use his combo, doesn't bother catching on towards him, and just backs away.
Yeah, NukeDog was there. I mean, not NukeDog, sorry. Dexter was there to kind of counter that if it did happen in the end. And I have to say that's actually kind of a smart play by SK, just to let that, go aside, because goal difference, it's very close at this point. And still, 0-0. I want to keep bringing him up because he's just kind of forgotten about right now. He hasn't been roaming like Kevin has. But as that Cows finishes up, if he starts to roam around right now, he's going to hurt so bad. And SK have to be very careful of this.
Well, Ocelot needs to get himself going here because NukeDog is out-farming him. He's obviously managing to build a gold advantage. BF Sword has been picked up by Tabs as well. Hercubot just steps aside to see that ball of fire going past him from Dexter. Instead, Candy Panda, with the eyes on him, steps on that trap. Again, Dexter looking to make something of it. Not landing it, though, but Candy Panda's happy to farm this one out.
Twisted Fate Ultimate is available right now. NukeDog could join the fight here, and as well as Zoro, he's actually running from the middle over towards his top side, so they definitely want to push this tower down. It's all about how SK responds.
There's 5 members of LemonDogs here. They're certainly going to get an advantage on it, and there's no way I don't think the SK can defend this because they've only got 2 members here. 3 members now coming in. Ocelot's going to join them. That's going to make it 4. We see Kevin teleporting away from the top lane as well. He's going to come and join him, but it's all going to be too late. A little bit too late for them. Oh, is Nif going to go towards this one? No, they're not going to see any hooks. I didn't see any slides. Nothing coming out from SK. They let the tower go.
And Dragon's going to be up in about 30 seconds. So LemonDogs, I mean, that was a good push on their part. They did draw all of SK there, though, and they're actually backing away, so it looks like we might even see someone get caught down towards bottom.
He did get caught, he gets hooked in there, but we don't see it. Candy Panda latches onto him. He was backing away on top of a Tribush ward, and just like that, SK Gaming, they got 15 seconds to just have a little bit of a chat, a little bit of dance, a little bit of play while the 4 dragons actually spawns.
Still, if you look at middle, NukeDuck, he's saying no. I mean, yeah, you can get Dragon, but I'm going to keep pushing your lanes, and it forces Ocelot to back away, so he'll get a little bit of damage onto that turret, but second Dragon of the game going to be going over to SK here, unless they can somehow get around the corner, and I don't think it's going to happen. No one's really in position to stop this, and that gives them a nice little bit of a gold lead.
That's the second Dragon of the game, I believe, for SK Gaming as well. It is... there you go, thanks for the graphic, Dirk. Just to confirm, you see it is the second Dragon, and it does mean that it's a 1,000 gold lead picked up by SK Gaming, despite the fact they are 2 towers down.
And we have to keep in mind is that the Twisted Fate passive, actually 2 gold per CS killed, and right now, pretty much on all fronts, right, LemonDogs are completely out-farming SK. As you do see the 80 carries, now Kenny Penny, he does have about 500 gold lead, 600 gold lead over his counterpart onto Taz, but then again, he has 2 kills, and it's all about, can LemonDogs assassinate Candy Panda before they get run over?
And that's going to be one of the big problems, because Vayne, you know, we've seen it so many times, just absolutely massacre people, whether it be Double Lift, whether it be Reckless, or whether it be, at the moment, Candy Panda running around on Vayne. They are very strong champions, and if he gets ahead of Caitlyn, which he is right now, it could spell danger for late game. But will LemonDogs allow him to get there, of course, because you've got the likes of Zoro Zero and NukeDuck that are going to be looking to lock him down.
Dexter, if he can, I mean, he stopped building damage, but he still might have enough to actually 1v1 Candy Panda if the time is right. But we do see a DFG picked up on Ocelot, so he wants to pretty much try to burst someone down in combination with Kevin to amplify both of their damage. But after, you know, SK making the early move top lane, taking the turret, taking the first dragon, it's kind of... It's been quiet in their camp. They haven't really made any plays happen just yet. It seems like both teams are kind of fighting for who controls the game, and right now no one has it.
We'll wait to see whether Ocelot starts to make some plays as well. He has just completed that Deathfire Grasp, so now is the time if he wants to try and make something of it for NukeDuck. We do see 3 members of SK collapsing in towards that mid lane. Look at Nif ready and waiting to try and throw out that death sentence, but instead sees the rest of LemonDogs do close the gap, throws it out, doesn't land it on NukeDuck, and backs away.
They didn't do that much damage to the turret. As Tabs, he's just being left to farm for free over towards bottom. He's going to be pushing this lane quite hard. And remember, they took down that inner turret earlier on. So if he actually gets all the way to the base, he's going to be doing damage to the inhibitor turret. And he's going to have his Infinity Edge done very soon.
But he's got to be careful because we do see Candy Panda going across. Remember, Ocelot has teleport. So for all LemonDogs know, there could be a ward that he could come on behind them. And so many times we saw Sharu doing that, going across and just assassinating that AD carry if he keeps pushing. That may be what Ocelot's going to be looking to do. As it stands, though, LemonDogs, they're stacking 3 members in this top lane, and it's going to be the turret they're after.
Yeah, if you see what's happening right now, it's SK groups up, pushes a turret, LemonDogs group up, defend against it, then LemonDogs group up and push a turret, SK groups up, defend it as well, and it's pretty much going to keep going like that until something really gives, as right now we have Tabs heading towards the top side. We do have Twisted Fate ultimate up as well. NukeDuck, he's heading towards the top side, and the thing is, Ocelot, like you said before, he has teleport available, but he'll be having to come into the backside, which will be very dangerous for him.
It could be a 5-on-4 at this rate. We see Candy Panda is coming around. They're going to try and defend this one out now. And there is 5 members of LemonDogs now in there. This is buying time for Ocelot, though. He's getting free farm now in this bottom lane. And that's what he needs, because he fell a long way behind on NukeDuck. But you can see just a 10 CS gap now between them. He's definitely closing in on LemonDogs. They're backing away.
Looks like they're backing just to pick up a couple of items. Like, they have the Zeal done out of Tab, so he didn't go for the Infinity Edge. He went for a little bit of attack speed and crit, and you see the Rod of Ages is done for Zoro Zero, which I would expect him to go for a Banshee's Veil or a Spirit Visage relatively soon after, just to get a little bit of MR against this double AP composition. But right now, a key point is LemonDogs, no one's building an Aegis. And when you're against a double AP comp, you want that Runic Bulwark, because that makes Ryze unstoppable.
Well, that is a very good point. Lich Bane just being completed, though, by NukeDuck, so using that as his first item. We'll see how well that's going to work out for Twisted Fate. We do, of course, see this mid lane continuing to be defended. SK Gaming's right now struggling to get the towers down, but honestly, they're not really stacking up to push them either.
Yeah, they're not necessarily in a hurry to go for it. They want to keep letting Candy Panda farm, but the thing is, he hasn't really been doing that, because he's been kind of, every once in a while, just group up with his team, and he hasn't really been allowed to free push like Tabs is doing bottom right now. But he's going to be up against Ocelot here, so we might see Ocelot make that first big play, or SK might be able to get this turret down.
We do see, again, another stack in the middle. Candy Panda going in. Dexter looking to land on towards him, gets a couple of free shots. Wave gets cleared. They all step away once again. We're coming up to the 20-minute mark. Dragon will be up shortly. And of course, it does close the gold gap. You can see just on your screens, just 400 gold between these two, despite the fact it's 3-1 in turrets. And looking across the board, you can see that actually Ocelot has closed the gap. He's just 200 between them, and it's the AD carries now as well. There was a 500 gold lead for Candy Panda at one point. Tabs has pulled it back, but Tabs is getting closed in on the bottom. The charm not going to land. Very good net there, but immediately we see it's going to be Nuked Up coming in. As they got enough onto a Zerkybot, yes they have. Ace in the hole from Tabs finishes him off.
That was a great turnaround too, and they're not done.
They're going to flash in, they're going to get a stun as the wild card goes out. One more card will do it, and Nuked Up finishes it off.
And now we saw the fight breaking out middle.
That's going to be the box going down. Nif getting caught out, just going to get exploded on. Dexter tries to catch on him. The ignite from Zoro Zero is enough. And now Candy Panda tries to turn it. Gets a kill on towards Dexter. Flashes away from this one. Kevin goes aggressive. Can he get on towards Zoro Zero? He needs the help of Candy Panda, but he's not really supplying it. Instead, he has to flash away from that one. And again, they're just backing off. So all across the board, LemonDogs picking up kills.
And that was a 1 for 3 for LemonDogs in the end. A great turnaround bot lane, starting with Nuked teleporting down there with that ultimate when he saw that Hercubot engage bottom. They're able to get that there, and then also turning around the fight a little bit middle, just getting the kill onto Nif, only losing Dexter, who, gotta give him credit, he actually got behind Candy Panda, tried kicking him into his own team, but unluckily for him, still had that flash up.
Yeah, quickly got out of that one. So, looking across the board, it's still 5-5 in kills. Still very close, just 600 gold between the two teams. Despite the fact we are seeing, actually, SK, for the first time in the game, actually going to take away their own blue buff here. Well, I was going to say, who's he delaying it for? Because Ocelot's on the top of the map. Instead, he's going to take it himself. Now they're going to go in for Dragon, but LemonDogs are ready to react.
And Ocelot still has that teleport available. He hasn't used it yet again. And LemonDogs, they're going to fight for this here. They do have every member here, like right around the corner, trying to go in for this, but Dragon's going down so quick, and actually, Wilka stole it!
Oh my word, he stole it with the kick! Beautiful stuff, and LemonDogs, they're pushing straight for the mid turret. Where are SK going? They're out of position. LemonDogs are gonna take the second inner turret.
I am just still amazed by that. That was ridiculous, and now they're gonna be able to get another turret on top of that. So still in a way, Dragon getting the gold from that, getting a middle, an inner middle turret when they already have the inner bottom. That just gives them such a huge lead, and it went from 600 gold difference to now 2,000.
Wow, you've got to wonder. And Hercubot, he didn't even use the smite. He didn't use the smite. So that's got to be a really big mistake. To steal it with a kick, which does what? It's probably like 100 plus damage at most. Let's have a look at it. It is
about 200.
200 damage. Why didn't he use the smite? Who knows?
I don't know. I
knows?
really don't know. I mean, because they're not going to go for Baron right after that. And there's nothing to really steal away from the jungle of LemonDogs. That just might have been a little bit of a miscommunication.
Miscommunication, a slip of the mind. Nevertheless, Kevin pushing down the bottom turret. They are pinging it, actually. So they may go for Kevin here. Dexter's not coming close enough, so it would be down to Nuke to solo him. Kevin should take this turret down without a problem.
And actually, Dexter hasn't bought in quite a while. He's still on 1,200 gold. I want to know what he's going to go for because, like we mentioned earlier, the Runic Bulwark is going to help massively. And all they need to do is just make sure that Dexter gets on top of Candy Panda, slows that attack speed down, because then, you know, he won't really matter too much.
Well, despite everything that's happened in the game so far, Candy Panda still hasn't been caught out. He's at 3-0-1 now. He's going to be a serious problem as this game progresses. We're in the 20-minute mark. Once it starts hitting that 30-minute mark, he's going to be way ahead of Tabs.
Yeah, I think that's exactly a good point, too, because if you look, he's building defensive. With that Negatron Cloak, he's going to go, you know, for that QSS to make sure he can get out of the Rise Rune Prison or get out of the gold card coming out of Nuke Duck. He needs to be able to stay alive to really carry his team through because, to be honest, the rest of his team is kind of struggling right now.
Yeah, we haven't seen Ocelot making any of those plays that we're used to so far. Hasn't really used that teleport a great deal either, if I'm completely honest. But he's getting that free farm in that top lane continuing. He's actually ahead in farm of Nuke Duck. We saw the ace in the hole used on Candy Panda. Just how much damage he actually took from that certainly hurt him. LemonDogs are going to try and push through and take a bit of advantage in the jungle of SK, and Ocelot already realizing this and having to back away.
I like how you mentioned the teleport, though, because we can talk about probably for a while about how the different uses of teleport in terms of Charu. It looks like Ocelot's going to be doing the same thing. He's going to save it for more late game, go for some more split pushing to teleport into a fight, or, you know, maybe pick someone off where, you know, in Xpeke earlier on today, he was being aggressive with it. He wanted to make kills happen, so looks like Ocelot is definitely trying to follow in the steps of Charu here, but how well can he make it work? Because he hasn't... I don't want to say he doesn't have the damage to burst someone down. I think he still has the damage to take tabs, but that gap is slowly, like, decreasing. The chance of that happening is getting smaller.
Ocelot at the moment, being singled out. Tab's pushing in towards him. Who has the most damage right now between them two? If a charm landed in the right place, then yes, it would be trouble for Tabs, but we see Mithy coming up in support along with Dexter, and they are once again closing in on that top lane. We see that also Nukeduck is lingering close enough that his ulti will bring him up there. He does back away for a moment. SK are going to gather and try and help out defend this one with Ocelot.
And look at Zoro. I mean, I mentioned it earlier. He's been so quiet this entire game, but he has a 50 CS lead over Kevin right now. Rod Age is going to be fully stacked up soon. The Spirit Visage is going to be done very soon. And I think when that happens, they're going to start wanting to make some team fights really come out.
Yeah, and you can see the fact that they are stacking up there. Here comes Nukeduck. He's coming up the river. Zoro Zero has already moved himself in towards the middle lane. And again, they're pinging on him, saying, look, he's still here, but everybody else is just over here. They're going to wait to try and land the hook on towards Mithy. If we're thinking of winding it up there, doesn't go for it, and they knew because they had that ward just above.
Yeah, great position right there as well, and they kind of wanted to bait it out. They're being really hesitant, but they're grouped up again. They're trying to go for a push on a turret, and like we've seen for the past 13 minutes, it's not really working out for one team or the other.
And there's a big stack in that bottom. That's going to shove itself along slowly but surely, and it will go towards the inhibitor turret. The mid lane is being covered off. Kevin's trying his best to keep Zoro Zero at bay, but Zoro Zero, he's going to be a monster when he finally gets into this fight. That tier of the goddess, that's going to be stacked up very high already. Rod of Age is in there, got that Negatron cloak, so Banshee's Veil possibly could get built before that tier's even finished. Yeah,
he's going to have a lot of magic resist, and if that Runic Bulwark does come in relatively soon, which right now Dexter still has yet to buy, sitting on 1,700 gold for quite a while now, he's not giving too much MR. He's going to be too tanky to deal with, and it looks like LemonDogs, they've had enough. They're going to go for pushing this turret, because right now, Zoro Zero's coming up from middle.
Zoro Zero is about to march in there. Ocelot's not with them, and I think they've just realized that he walked past the ward, actually, towards the Baron area, and there's Ocelot quickly closing the ground, but honestly, in a 5v5, this would be a very tight fight. I feel the death sentence not landing, went towards Nukeduck, could have been the start of a fight.
And the thing is, Ocelot doesn't really have anything to teleport to besides a minion maybe get in there or maybe going for that turret. But as you see, he's backing away already in the minimap. He's going to go bottom, get that farm, and that means a free turret for LemonDogs.
It does indeed, and that's going to be the 5th one of the game for LemonDogs. They're going to keep that gold lead starting to increase ever so slightly every time they get this little advantage. Ocelot will get himself a big chunk away. Don't count that one out. He will get the Rabadon's Death Cap build very soon. Death Sentence again being flung out from Nif, but again not finding its target. And it does mean that LemonDogs played the waiting game and took themselves an objective, and they're just going to back away and buy.
And something we're going to see develop here is what we saw with Mutual Makers versus LemonDogs, I believe it was 2 weeks ago. Actually, no, it was even last week, where Mutual Makers had a 20,000 gold lead towards the end of the game, and they were still very hesitant to engage because the enemy team would have enough damage to burst someone down. And right now with both teams have the damage to burst anyone down on the other team. So they have to be very careful. That's why they're being really hesitant. They don't want to go for a straight head-to-head fight because they know if they lose that fight, they're going to lose too many members, they're going to lose too much of an advantage, and their team might be able to snowball it away.
So what sort of power spike is SK waiting for? Because they are clearly delaying this one out. They want to wait until things get going. Are they waiting for something from Candy Panda, something from Ocelot, something to get going?
I think it's the QSS they're waiting to come out of Candy Panda, and a little bit more damage. And maybe the Runic Bulwark got a Herky bot because they want to deal with the double AP. But he needs that QSS. Like, he's going to be their major damage dealer, and he has to be able to just roam around freely in the entire fight. But right now, SK going for Dragon here, and looks like LemonDogs aren't in position to steal it away.
And LemonDogs, we just saw Zoro Zero using that ultimate actually on the wave to clear it out. This time, it's not going to get stolen away. He did try and come in, but Candy Panda picks up the Dragon.
And Herky bot didn't smite again. I'm really wondering what's up with that, but right now it looks like LemonDogs are trying to go for the same strategy if they took it last time, trying to push middle here and get some damage onto the turret, but right now Zoro Zero's kind of caught out of position.
Well, they try and come across, they threw out the charm. Dexter just sidestepped that one. Hercubot didn't slide through and start anything out, so SK Gaming, they keep that gold lead within reach. It's just shy of 2,000 gold right now. And again, SK Gaming, they look finally like they want to be aggressive.
And they have to be really careful though, because they have Nukeduck split pushing. He's actually going to be backing instead. Well, she doesn't really have much gold to buy anything with, so I'm not sure actually why he's backing away just yet. Looks like he wants to group up with his team as SK do back away from the turret, and right now it's 5-2 in turrets. And a lot of games that we see go in favor of one team is just about their control of turrets, if they can get more or less, because 5-2 is really a huge amount of gold, and honestly, that's the lead that they currently have right now.
Speaking of huge amount of gold, Candy Panda has not backed and bought for a long time. He's continuing. He's got 2,100 gold sat on him right now in his back pocket. He may want to start spending that one. Ocelot's like, nope, this is my wave. Go away. I'm clearing it out. He's not going to let him have that. He's got 1,000 gold himself as well, so number of items being saved up on here for SK. case of what are they waiting for? 2,000 gold, still the difference.
It's got to be a Zhonya's. I'm looking at him. It's either Deathcap or Zhonya's, and I think with Ocelot's really aggressive playstyle, Zhonya's would benefit him quite a bit more because he can dive in really far. He can take the damage out of Zoro, not to mention the CC, which makes so Candy Panda can use that QSS on something else later on. So I wouldn't be too surprised, and that might be another item that they're currently waiting for.
Well, Ocelot warded up, and he is going to back off. The pings are on him. They know that he's around there, so they're just warning of the Tribush, which is Zoro is checking out. Meanwhile, this mid lane we see continue going. But Tabs has built up a tremendous farm race right now. It's about 60, 70 CS difference between the two. Mid laners, despite the fact Ocelot's not really been involved in any of these fights, it's been off split push, and you can see he's only got a 10 CS advantage still over Nukeduck, and his top lane as well. We talked about it earlier on, a massive gap build up by Zoro now.
And it's only, I think it's actually only getting worse as they're approaching 60 CS now, and Zoro, he has a Spirit Visage done. He's going for his Seraph's Embrace or his Archangel Staffs next. And with the 2F ultimate coming in, they see Ocelot, they're going for him.
Absolutely, gets demolished. He's not going to be able to escape from this one. Tries to turn the damage back around. Nukeduck came in, but he did pick up the kill. But it was already done. Zoro had already finished that fight.
Yes, that was the heavy hitters going head-to-head right there, where Zoro with that magic resist, there was nothing Ocelot could do to him. Even with that DFG applied, he's just too tanky, and they're still pushing top lane and SK. They're trying to push middle, and losing another inner turret is going to be very bad.
They're going to try and bully them. They were thinking we can force for this mid turret, but honestly, I don't think they're going to care too much because they're going to take that top turret. They're going to have to react because that top turret will go down very quickly. Already gone. They've got the Lich Bane, don't forget, on Twisted Fate. He's going to be doing chunks of damage on towards those turrets. They're going to continue pushing. Now they're going to start backing off. Can they close the gap on SK though? They may come through the jungle onto the side of them.
Oh yeah, I was thinking they might try to pinch them in just to go for the kill since Ocelot still was down, but he's going to be up in 2 seconds. He has a teleport available, and with the word that you saw on the bottom left of your screen, they do actually know where LemonDogs are, but an outer middle turret for a top inner, so now SK has no turrets left outside of their base. It's not really a position you want to be in, and we're going to see if LemonDogs can use this to their advantage.
Yeah, they're starting to burn the money as well, because they have to use more wards, throw everything down. It's all on Nif. He has got the Philo Stone, though, compared to Mithy, that hasn't actually got a GP item. So instead, that may be in his advantage. We will see. Still, very low-scoring game between these two teams, and it's all about SK just waiting for their power spike. We see the Zhonya's Hourglass now has been completed by Ocelot, so you got that one right, as well as actually a Phantom Dancer coming out from Candy Panda. Still, not a great deal else being followed up. We are seeing waiting, and look at that. You see Ocelot already throwing out those orbs. He's checking those bushes, so they don't have a great deal of vision in their own jungle right now.
And there's a big problem is that Zoro, he actually has 140 magic resist when he's near that Aegis, as we do see Nukeduck trying to catch someone.
They're going to get the stun card. It's Kevin, they get caught on, but straight away the hook comes in. Nukeduck flashing out, just perfect timing. We do see Mythic getting melted down. That's the Zhonya's Hourglass from Ocelot. Will it buy him enough time to flash away? Hercubot getting caught out there. That's going to be Nukeduck. He's going to use that ultimate to try and gain him some vision. You do see the Tab Zone getting one kill. That's going to be another. It's Candy Panda down. That's the damage stopped. Ocelot gets dropped, and now it's going to be just Nif that gets caught out. Stun card, wild card, followed by a Piltover Peacemaker, and that is a very easy ace for LemonDogs.
How did they only lose one member? It was only Mithy, and with that bottom wave, they're going to push for that inhibitor turret and get the inhibitor, and they still have 20 seconds plus on each member of SK. They might be able to go back, take Baron, or maybe take that middle turret on top of that, because right now Zoro is pushing it, but one member, there's support for 5 of SK. How did that even happen? I mean, the Zhonya's was perfectly well used by Ocelot, but it didn't matter. All he did was get out of the fight and then come right back in to die.
And everybody just stacked up perfectly. Zoro's like, I am just going to blow everything on all of you as you stack up nicely. And the fact that he's had all that time to free farm, he's basically in a prime build right now for Rise, and he's just demolished the rest of SK.
And that's what I was trying to make sure to point out earlier on, that he's been left to farm, because something like that is going to happen. And you do see Ocelot actually going for the Negatron Cloak, but I was trying to point out that he has 140 magic resist when he's near the Runic Bulwark. Right now, Ocelot only has that penetration from his shoes and from his masteries, or from his runes. And the same with Kevin. All he has is the Haunting Guys and the Sword Boots, so they're not going to do any damage to Zoro. And when he builds a little bit of armor, if they want to, if they need to, then he's going to be unstoppable, and Candy Panda isn't going to be able to do that much damage to him.
Nope. Looks like Ocelot maybe picking up that blue buff, and they are staring defeat in their face with that first inhibitor of the game down, and LemonDogs honestly creating every tactical advantage they can. They're stacking up around the Baron buff. They're 11-6 up in kills. That equates to 6,000 gold as well, and they have great big map advantage. They're going to try and close on towards Kevin. Switches into Spider Form just in time to avoid. Uses the red buff as his escape through the repel. But it does mean that LemonDogs, they're coming around to take away everything from SK's jungle. They want to fight though.
I don't know if they can actually win this fight, but they're going to go in with the Shurelya's.
Shurelya's popped. Can they land the hook? No, the flash comes straight out. They try and turn it back around here. Dexter's going in, actually, but he's on his own. He's on a different page from the rest of LemonDogs. They've said, fine, let's back away. We've got full vision around the Baron pit area, so let's try and force SK in towards here. Tabs actually is going to clear out the wards as well because there's a pink ward in the Baron pit, and SK back off.
In the meantime, the bottom lane is pushing for LemonDogs. They're just baiting SK out. They're not even trying to do this Baron just yet. They're just trying to keep him around, and it's working out so well for them currently. And the thing is, while SK's doing this, they're not farming. They're not getting any stronger. And LemonDogs, they already won a fight 1 for 5. They don't even need to get stronger to win another fight, and they're just stalling out, and it's working out well.
Stalling out with those super minions. It's going to be on the Nexus turret in a moment, and Candy Panda does clear out the mid lane, but it's those Nexus turrets that they have to defend. Those super minions won't take very long to start munching it down. They are putting pressure on it already, and as you can see, the hook comes out from this, tries to start the Baron actually on towards LemonDogs, but they're like, we don't care. We'll start the Baron off for you.
And where's Ocelot going to teleport into? They don't have any really wards down behind the enemy team of LemonDogs. If they do put one down, here comes Ocelot, but that is not good, because now that means someone's going to have to stay in the base of SK, and it's going to be him, and he doesn't have the ability to get there. And the thing is, if they did engage in a 5-on-5, LemonDogs can blow anyone up on the other team before anything happens. And it's Mithy, I believe his Oracle just ran. Oh no, he still has an Oracle available, so he could clear up that vision. And they're still just luring SK away, and this game plan of theirs, it's working out.
And the fact that LemonDogs have that ward in the mid lane, right by the inhibitor turret, they are just catching a glimpse of every time Ocelot goes past it. They're like, no, he's gone back, let's start it off. Huh? Trolled him, he's coming back again. Let's just leave it going, because well, look at the top lane. There's a big wave there. That inhibitor turret is nearly gone already. There's super minions on the bottom lane. They continue to push on through. Kevin finally clears that one out. Looks like LemonDogs are like, well, we've had a good merry dance with them here. We're going to finally back away from this one because Dexter's not here anymore.
And that bottom wave is actually on the inhibitor turrets, or Nexus turrets, sorry, and it's going to be doing some good damage. Not to mention, look at it this way, because they're so far pushed up, those minions, they're actually grabbing the waves going to other lanes, so that means other lanes are naturally going to be pushing against that. And LemonDogs, they're back at Baron, they're just like, they're happy to do this. And the problem for SK is that they don't want to fight, but they also don't want to lose Nexus turrets, and they don't want to lose Baron, but they have to make a decision. What's more important to them, those Nexus turrets or that Baron?
Well, you've got to defend the Nexus turret, surely. That's your bread and butter right there. It's going to regenerate health, but not very quickly. Mithy getting attacked by the Baron there because Hercubot causing him to throw that Demacia standard down. Dexter looking to try and land it. Does manage to get the kick on towards Nif. Doesn't follow it through. Ocelot is off of the side. Doesn't have that teleport available. I wonder whether LemonDogs know that they used that teleport. I don't think they'd have seen it, but they would have realized that he managed to get over there very quickly.
Yeah, I'm not sure they actually did. I mean, they saw him run back, but then again, they saw him in base, like right previously before. I would assume that they would, but honestly, I wouldn't put anything past it at this point. And LemonDogs, they're still sticking around Baron. They're baiting out all the wards that SK has, and because of this, I have to say, I mentioned before about them farming or not farming. Ocelot is getting a large amount of farm. He's going to have an Abyssal done soon.
And that inhibitor's going to be respawning soon. So while they're delaying, it's very good. It's working wonders, but they haven't baited SK into this. They've not fell for it yet. And they need to try and land something because, as you mentioned, Ocelot's getting farm. We see Candy Panda, he continues to get farm. They are gaining advantages while LemonDogs tried to bait them into this one. Kevin also actually gaining farm in that top lane, but he's still 80 CS behind.
Yeah, and the thing is, luckily for them though, like you mentioned before, that top inhibitor turret very, very low. Bob inhibitor has respawned, and LemonDogs, what's your next move here? They have all the vision cleared out. They actually might bait SK into a fight here, and Hercubot should be checking it with that. There's the standard. They're going to back away towards Baron, but I don't think this is the right choice because, yeah, the bottom wave is still pushing. You still have, I believe, one more super minion there to actually push in. But you got to keep SK here for a long time. They're actually going around in circles here, and
ooh, they've missed them.
We're going to see something happen. This is going to be a big fight.
LemonDogs are going to catch them out here. They have managed to get vision on them. Can they throw anything out? Oh, Ocelot taken very low at the start of this fight. Tabs with that Piltover Peacemaker. They've got positional advantage. They're going to come around the side. They've actually got a wave of minions there as well, so they're going to force SK Gaming. We are going to push into your inhibitor turret. SK Gaming, have they got the ability to fight them at it?
They have to be very careful here because they're not in a really good position. They could get engaged upon from behind, which would really hurt them. But with that super minion there, that inhibitor is going to go down, and we're going to see the same thing happen. That dance is going to be recreated. LemonDogs have to be very careful. I mean, they still get engaged upon it. They still could lose a fight here.
Chevalier is used. Mithy gets caught out with the cocoon. Is it enough to follow through? You see Nif going down. He just gets melted. Ice in the hole, pinned on towards Ocelot. Actually used his Zhonya's Hourglass, but wow, Hercubot jumps in, gets melted. Ocelot gets melted. You see another one flashing through. It's going to be Kevin trying to use the repel to get out of there, but that's going to be the inhibitor turret going down. Super minions are in there. Nuke Dog comes in. The top inhibitor will also drop, but the Nuke Dog, they just don't care because LemonDogs are taking down the Nexus turrets. They're going to take the Nexus. It's going to be the victory for the LemonDogs against SK Gaming once again.
And a relatively long, very methodical, very thought-out game by LemonDogs there, knowing where they want to push, where they don't, and just baiting SK out into their demise in the end. Very well played by them, and Mithy doing pretty damn well with the team with their whole new roster changes. Just like NAP, they've been performing quite well.
And Zoro must be feeling that he's just played a game against AI because he really didn't see anyone for a long time. He's just like, guys, I'm farming at the top. Guys, I'm farming at the bottom.
I'm just going to farm.
Farming at the top again. Oh, I'm in the middle. Where are these towers gone, by the way, ladies and gentlemen? It's 9-3 the turrets were at the end of it, 14-6 the kills, and the gold advantage, well, it was only about 7,000, but you wouldn't have thought that when you looked at the fights because, honestly, LemonDogs seemed to be ahead of them the whole way through the game.
And LemonDogs, Zoro, he had a 70 CS advantage over Kevin, and we kept, mentioning the entire time that's going to become really too hard for them to deal with him. It was in the end because you saw Hercubot. He was their tank. He went in, got blown up right away, and then you even saw, Nuke Duck farmed it quite well, who actually kind of closed the gap between him and Ocelot. But LemonDogs, I mean, I was saying the pre-match, I want to see if they're going to keep improving over the weeks, and with what we just saw right there, they are.
And again, we saw the AD carry, 306, another fantastic performance by them. In the mid lane, you can see 517 as well for Twisted Fate. So first victory for Twisted Fate, by the way, today as well, despite the fact he snuck through many times. It seems the Nuke knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, and it was weird because he used his ultimate to gank, I believe, once or twice the entire game. The rest of the time, he just kept it up just to let the other team know that's available. He's like, I could ult you right now, so play a little bit more passive. But it was all about, Tabs, last time these two teams met in Moscow, he was like 8-0 against them on that Vayne it was. And then Zorzo just kept farming up the entire time. No one could really do the damage to him to kill him. And it was a very slow, drawn-out game. Well, not as slow as their other games previously that took over 50 minutes, but it was by the books.
By the books, and that means that LemonDogs are sneaking their way up the standings. We'll be checking that out in a moment. But what do we take from this for SK Gaming? Because honestly, they are in spiral right now. That's 3-3, like you said, in the last week since Moscow. They've got a couple of wins on there. Actually, that's a lie. That's 2-4. I'd have to check that.
No, they're 3-2 now. They're 3-3, and they're 2-6 previously.
Yeah, so it's not looking too good for them, but they weren't too bad in that game.
Yeah, I want to say it still goes back to us mentioning earlier about the new teams coming in, not being afraid about fighting, not being afraid about maybe making a mistake. We saw
not
SK
being afraid about finishing games either.
Yeah.
If you think back to the spring split, how many times were we saying teams don't seem to know how to finish a game? That doesn't seem a problem anymore.
Yeah, and it's like the older teams are just kind of a little bit more hesitant. I mean, maybe they feel the weight on their shoulders of what's coming up with the World Finals, the playoffs, and everything that's on the line here. Maybe that's what's kind of holding them back, but they have to mentally break through that, mentally forget about it, just say, guys, let's play this game. Let's not play so hesitant, because you saw SK, they didn't want to make a fight happen. Even though the gold was like pretty much exactly the same, when they're middle, grouping up a couple of times, they didn't want to fight, and you sometimes need to. You cannot let the game just drag on like that.
Well, it was another great game. Let's go over to Freak, though, to break down the match.
Thanks very much, guys. So I want to break down the really game-turning team fight for the LemonDogs SK game. And basically, I want to talk about what happens for the team composition, because the SK lineup is full of assassins. They've got Elise and Ari who want to dive in there, kill one target really, really fast. But the problem is the two big damage sources for LemonDogs are Caitlyn at 650 range, and of course the Rise, who's very, very tanky, and you don't easily get to him. And so what we see here is a team fight that really doesn't allow SK to play their major roles. And the other point you want to talk about here is Vayne on Candy Panda, who's doing very, very well. She's 3-0-1, but the problem is you can't like outplay a Rise or outplay a Twisted Fate. They have targeted stuns, targeted roots, and you don't get to play around them very easily when you're Vayne, when you're short range, when you can get picked up. So let's roll this clip and watch what happens. So SK okay, they're going to get a pretty decent pick here. Nuke Duck goes for a stun, whatever, but they land the knock-up and just destroy Mithy. So the assassination finds one. But look, Ocelot is now overcommitted. Candy Panda tries to show up, and watch how much damage comes across here. The team has to back out, but now look at just the damage output is left here. Tab's never been touched. The Rise stays at full health the entire time through. You just kind of evaporate the entire SK lineup at this point, and it's just cleanup potential here for LemonDogs. The amazing teleport comes in from Nuke Duck as well. A great fight right there, and that's just team fight mechanics. LemonDogs just had a really, really good 5v5 composition, and when it got down to the team fights and Rise got a lot of items, it was just easy for them to fight these guys. So congratulations to LemonDogs, a well-built team composition and a well-executed team fight. However, we have more to say, of course, about that game. Let's send it over to Shox.